What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Mac on Sports podcast. Julio Jones is gone. So it's not a secret. Julio wanted out of Atlanta, and he's finally gotten his wish granted. I did not see the Titans coming, though. And if you're a Falcons fan, you had one of the greatest wide receivers of all time. He's still the best in the league, arguably. You look at Julio, what he's done. He's averaged 95 yards per game in his career, which is the most in NFL history. So he's an unbelievable talent. Now, I know he's a little older and all that, but what you would still expect from the Falcons, you should be able to get more than a second-round pick and a fifth-round pick. Now, it's not finalized yet. There's still 24 hours that it needs to be approved, but it looks like Julio's on his way to Tennessee. I'll tell you who's very happy about that is Ryan Tannehill. Oh, my God. Your number 2 wide receiver last year was Corey Davis. Now, don't get me wrong. Corey Davis was a really good wide receiver, a good backup option to have. Your number 2 now is A.J. Brown, who was your number 1 guy last year. And then you have your boy Julio. Huge. Now, they're going to be a good team. You got Derrick Henry, by the way, in that backfield, so you have a scary offensive threat. Now, as a Cowboy fan myself, we have to play the Falcons this year. We don't have to play Julio anymore. It's a win. Love to see it. But if you're a Falcons fan, you got to be pissed, though. You got to be pissed. Surely there should have been a lot more you could have gotten out for one of the best players in the league. I know he's older. I know he's injury prone. I know he hasn't played as much games as he did early on in his career, but this is still Julio Jones we're talking about. We're still talking about Julio Jones. You couldn't even get a first-round pick for Julio Jones. Or just a veteran starter at any position that can help your team contribute. Unless, as of right now, the day that he got traded, unless any future details come out of the trades, you got a second and a fifth. Neither one of those second and fifth guys are going to help you this year. Years to come, you might look down and say, we got this guy to the second round or this guy to the fifth round. Turns out to be great. Well, they're not going to be as good as Julio, unless it's a unbelievable just turn of events. But I'm sure. I mean, I'm not a GM, I'm not anything, but I'm sure you can get so much more for a guy like Julio Jones. I don't understand that one. I didn't understand that. But Tennessee, on the other hand, I still don't think Tennessee wins the division. I do think it's the Indianapolis Colts still. I think the Colts are the best team in that division. I expect Carson Wentz to take a huge stride from what he took last year. We all know Carson Wentz was a joke. He was a laughing stock of the league with the Eagles this past year. I feel like Indianapolis, he's going to be a new guy. He's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. But it gets me going. It's just like, really? If I'm a Falcons fan, I want to be out. So, Ryan Tannehill's living life. We'll see which team wins the trade in the future. But Julio, he said he wanted a quarterback that can throw the ball deep or play with a star quarterback and a team that's going to win. I wouldn't consider Ryan Tannehill a star quarterback, but hey, whatever. But Falcons, it's an unfortunate fan base. Let's put it that way. It's a very unfortunate fan base. But out goes Julio to Tennessee. Now we get into the NBA of things. I was talking about a couple of weeks ago, we need to blow up the Clippers. The Clippers need to be blown up. They're just not good. Okay, well, I still believe that if they don't win a finals. They got past the first round. Well, they did that last year too, and then they underachieved against a good Denver Nuggets team. So this is a big step. You have to face a Utah Jazz team, which, yes, they have the best bench in the NBA. Yes, they have Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, but you got Kawhi Leonard. You got Paul George. You got guys that should win. Going 7 could be beneficial for this Clipper teams in the long run, having to come through adversity. Very well may. Very well may. Now, the Clippers in Game 7 were shooting the ball lights out. It wasn't even a close game. It was a blowout. Now, throughout most of the game, it was close until a big changing point with Luka in the third quarter, which I'm going to get to in a second. It's kind of where it kind of separated. But the Clippers are the first team in NBA history to have 20-plus threes in a Game 7. They were just shooting the lights out of the ball. They were on fire all night. Couldn't miss from deep. And that was huge. That was huge. Now here's what I want to talk about Luka. Yes, another unbelievable performance from Luka, right? 46 points, 7 rebounds, 14 assists. If you're a Mavericks fan, he put his heart on the line. You can't fault him. And I'm not going to fault Luka by any means. But what I do want to say with Luka, as I'm watching this game, and it's kind of been a ongoing thing with Luka that he's going to have to fix if he wants to become one of the greats, which he already is. But if he wants to continue, progressing and becoming the best version of himself that he can be, is conditioning and his shot selections late in the game. Now, what I mean by this is when I was watching this game, Luka had an unbelievable first half. He was carrying the team on his back, right? And that third quarter, he scored 4 points. Well, why that's such a big factor? Dallas does not have a good second unit. They don't have a good second unit. It's been their downfall this whole entire series, most of the season. Now, when you only score 4 points, you're probably going to sit out the early bit of the fourth quarter and then get subbed in. But 4 points, you gotta play good. Now, here's the thing. With Luka, when he was versing the Clippers, he had 85 points in all the first quarter, and the 7 first quarters games combined. So every first quarter, all combined, he had 85 points. Second quarter, he had 71 points. Third quarter, 54, and when you need him most, in the clutchest of times, in the fourth quarter, he had 40 points. Not only that, though, he also had his percentages go down each quarter to quarter to quarter to quarter. That gotten worse and worse and worse. And that's going to happen with fatigue, and I get that. But like I said, I'm not faulting Luka by any means. You cannot run offense every single possession and expect to score. That's not possible unless you're a freak. Which he's amazing, but you need help. You need help, and this is not on Luka. You know who it is on, though? Kristaps Porzingis sucks. Porzingis sucks. I will say that loud and clear. Porzingis sucks. He looks like a stick that sits there, and he doesn't know what the hell to do. He doesn't by any means. I'll tell you that right now. Kristaps Porzingis averaged 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 3 throughout this series. Now you might say, well, 13 points per game is not terrible, whatever. It's Porzingis. He's supposed to be your partner in crime along with Luka. That's not good enough. I'll tell you what's really not good enough. When I say that stat line, it might not seem as bad as I'm making it out to be, but wait for this. Porzingis is getting paid more than Giannis, who some argue to be the best player in the NBA, Bradley Beal, Drew Holiday, most improved player in the NBA, Julius Randle, Jamal Murray, and up-and-coming superstar Jaylen Brown. Porzingis makes more money than all of those guys this season alone in Dallas. Now, that's on management as well, but Porzingis sucks. When you're getting paid that much money, you're going to have to help Luka, and it's just not there. That's my opinion on it. And I love Luka. The Dallas Mavericks now equal ratings. People want to tune in to watch the Mavericks now. Now, that happened with Dirk. Dirk was awesome to watch. Well, Luka's kind of gotten that thing back there in Dallas. They're fun to watch. And I'm excited to see what they can do in the future. But there's got to be if they want to be contenders, there's got to be so much more. The bench depth's not there. Your second star cannot be Porzingis. And I know Mark Cuban knows that. He cares about his team a lot. He'll be the first one to tell you that. He will. They're just not good. I mean, they did take the Clippers to 7, but that's without Luka, this Mavs team's not making the playoffs. Because Porzingis is not going to be your star. He's a joke. He's an absolute joke. In the nicest way possible. So, it is what it is. You know who's not a joke? It's the Atlanta Hawks. I'll be the first one to say, I didn't even give them enough respect that they actually deserve. The Atlanta Hawks are unbelievable. Now, I'm not going to say that I think the Hawks are going to beat Philadelphia in a 7-game series because Philadelphia is the number 1 seed for a reason. But what I will say is I will not be the least bit surprised if that happens. Trae Young is absolutely unreal. And like I keep going back and forth, I've said it multiple times on the podcast. The Mavericks and Hawks trade for Trae and Luka, there was no loser. There was no loser. And you could say, yeah, Luka's probably a little better than Trae. But at the same time, Trae's gotten his team to the second round. Luka hasn't. Now, this isn't a comparing thing. It's just Trae Young is the real deal. That's what I want to say. And I see a lot of Sixers fans and Knicks fans saying, oh, Trae Young flops and cries for all the calls. You guys must not watch LeBron James or the rest of the NBA because everybody does this. I have no problem with it. Now, game 1 against Philadelphia, it was good to see Joel Embiid back. I never want to see anybody get hurt, not even Ben Simmons, nor Kyrie Irving. I don't ever want to see anybody get hurt. So it was good to see Joel Embiid try to fight through an injury. Kemba Walker would know how to do that. If you know, you know. But Trae Young, in game 1, 35 points. Not too bad. 10 assists, 4 threes. Pretty good stat line. That's pretty good. Isn't Ben Simmons supposed to be one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA? Interesting. Trae Young cooked his ass. All right. Sixers. They had the second best defensive rating this season in the NBA. Hawks had 74 in the first half, by the way. 74. They were up 20. Now, Atlanta tried to do what Atlanta does best, and that's collapse late in the game. Because that's just an Atlanta thing to do, right? But to be completely fair to them, they didn't blow it. Now, they only won by 4. They got outscored by 16 in the second half, but it was Atlanta fans, probably a little nervous, but hey, Hawks won. They take game 1. Now, this is going to be a long series. I've seen a lot of people overreact on social media saying Philadelphia's in trouble. Hawks are definitely going to win this series. Hawks looked good, and they've done their job. They took 1 on the road. That's all you ask for. You try to split. You want to go 1-1 on the road, and they've done that already. Now they try to take game 2 and get in the driver's seat. But Philadelphia is a good team. I know Philadelphia. I'm being nice to you here, huh? Being nice. It's going to be a long series. Philadelphia is going to bounce back. Doc Rivers is one of the best coaches in the NBA. He's won an NBA Finals. I'm sure he's going to make adjustments. But this is going to be a great series, and I'm not going to back away from my take where I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if this Atlanta Hawks team beats the Sixers, because they're that good. They've done a phenomenal job. The front office, Nate McMillan, they've all done an unbelievable job. Nets fans, James Harden hurts his hamstring. This could be a little worrisome. Like I said, I don't ever want to see anybody get hurt, but it's ironic that it's the series after the Celtics. Come on, really? Really? Whatever. Doesn't play. Well, he gets hurt in game 1, and you would think for the Bucks this could be a big thing. Oh no. Brooklyn still kicked their ass. Simple. Kevin Durant's still one of the greatest players in the world. Simple. What are you doing, Bucks? That was not an impressive performance. No. Brooklyn handled them. Now, we don't know how long James Harden's out for. This could be a factor deeper on into the series. Yes. Now, game 2, it's not a must-win. It's only game 2. But Milwaukee, you're trying to split. You don't want to go down 2-0 to the Bucks. The Nets. That's not exactly what you would want to happen necessarily. So, I'll be interested to see Tuesday night, I believe. Is it Tuesday? Yeah, it should be Tuesday. No, Monday. Whenever game 2 is, Bucks are going to need it. They're going to need a better performance from everyone, because I wasn't impressed with that Bucks team. Now, it was because, they've been off for so long after sweeping the Heat. They've been off for a while, so you expect a little rust in game 1, but I was very surprised how good the Nets looked and how awful the Bucks looked late in the game, for sure. Transition to hockey. We're getting that. The Carolina Hurricanes Tampa Bay Lightning game was drunk. It was absolutely drunk. It's a simple way to put it. Unbelievable. There was 8 goals scored in the second period alone. 8 goals scored in the second period alone. Unreal. Back and forth action. It was off the rails. It was absolutely wild. It was electric. It was unreal. Now, Lightning go up 3-1. So Carolina, they got their backs against the wall. Not good. This isn't good for Carolina, because if there's not one team, I would say you don't want to go down 3-1 to the Vegas Golden Knights. You don't want to go down 3-1 to the Colorado Avalanche, future Stanley Cup champs. You don't want to go down 3-1 to the Tampa Bay Lightning or to the Boston Bruins. But for their case, they're down 3-1 to the Lightning. Not ideal. Not an ideal situation. So, Game 5 is a must-win. Now, if you win that, you win Game 6 back on the road. Game 7 gets a whole lot interesting because you get it back on your home ice. But Tampa Bay is just too good of a team. I don't see them blowing a 3-1 lead. I just don't. But that was an unbelievable game. Back and forth they go. We had a fight before the puck. Or no, not a fight. 2 penalties before the game even happened. We had guys just slashing each other left and right, going at it before puck drop. They both had themselves in the penalty box before the game even started. Unreal. But let's talk about the Montreal Canadiens. Huh? How about them? So, Montreal Canadiens somehow came into the playoffs, I believe, the second or third worst team in the league. That made the playoffs. And, they get past the Toronto Maple Leafs, because if there is one team that you do want to be down 3-1 to in all of sports, it would be the Toronto Maple Leafs, right? So there we go. Canadians come back from a 3-1 deficit. Boom. Now you're playing Winnipeg. Winnipeg's not that much better than Montreal, but they are better. Well, Winnipeg dropped both games at home. Montreal takes a 2-0 lead, whatever. Well, you get into game 3, which is happening right now, and before I started this podcast, It was 3-0. Montreal's just a team of destiny. They got team of destiny vibes. This team's not very great, but they're playing as a unit. They're playing great hockey. And as long as they didn't have a dramatic collapse, which fast forward probably about 5-8 minutes into this episode, you'll have my future take when I start talking about Floyd and Logan. I'll know the result. They should be up 3-0. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. So Montreal just very well may. I mean, now you got the juggernaut of the Colorado Avalanche next, or the Vegas Golden Knights next, so that would not be easy. But I don't know, Montreal's just playing unreal hockey. Carey Price is standing on his head in net. One of the best goalies in hockey. We all know that. But it's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable to say the least. But having to watch the Boston Bruins power play is unbelievably bad. It was great in the regular season, and now it's atrocious. My Lord. I'm just not impressed with it. I'm not. And it's so unbelievable that David Pastrnak missed a wide open net. Because if you don't know, in Game 4, the Bruins dropped Game 4, 4-1 to the Islanders. Now it's 2-2. They go back to Boston for tonight, Game 5, 6:30, NBCSN. This is a pivotal game. This is a pivotal game. If the Boston Bruins do not win this game against the New York Islanders, I don't see them going back into Long Island and winning Game 6. They have to win this. Game 5 is a must for the Bruins, I think. It is. It's a huge momentum series shifter. They should have won Game 4. And they could. I mean, David Pastrnak, like I said, missed a wide open net. If he scores that, the Bruins have a 2-0 lead because they ended up getting the first goal of the game. 2-0, that's tough to come back from. Instead, they didn't. They turned over the puck too much. Tuukka Rask made some unbelievable saves. The Islanders got some greasy goals. And but I also can't take any credit away from the Islanders. Another unbelievable fan performance. They took advantage of their opportunities off of some bad penalties by the Boston Bruins, spearing in the nuts, for instance, and just bad turnovers. Bad turnovers. This is going to happen when Brendan Carlo and Kevin Miller are both out with concussions. You need them, and you need them to come back fast, else your backs are against the wall. You got to win Game 5. I'm confident, though. I'm confident. David Pastrnak, look, if you're going to have a guy miss a wide open net where the goalie's not even in the crease early on in the game, it's just that type of night, right? It's going to be that type of night. That's what it was for the Bruins. Islanders, they're going to play not rough. They're going to play physical is the better word. And they might get outshot, but they're a gritty team, and they're not going to go down without a fight. And, Bruins, they're line 4 for the Boston Bruins. Something's got to be changed. They've produced no points throughout the playoffs. Every other line has at one point besides the fourth line. I know they're the gritty guys, but every other gritty line in the NHL, they can score. Bruins have no offensive firepower from their gritty line on that fourth line. It's got to be better. Maybe Trent Frederick subs in. Who knows? Tuukka continues to stand on his head, make unbelievable saves, but the Bruins lose another game, and you don't want to lose on your home ice. They've been pretty good at protecting it, only lost one game. They did lose Game 2 to the Islanders on home ice, and I'm expecting an unbelievable crowd. And I need the boys to buzz. I need Pastrnak to get one. Bergeron's in the Selke Trophy conversation again. He's just unreal on the back check, but the Bruins need this win. Shout out to the Islanders, though. They're making this a good series. They are making this a good series. But now I'm going to go watch the Colorado Avalanche versus Golden Knights, and I'm going to go watch Floyd versus Logan. My prediction, Avalanche take Game 4. So I just don't see, first of all, how Floyd Mayweather loses to Logan. Let's just get this on the air, and I'm going to sound like an idiot here in a couple of minutes, or I'm going to sound like a genius, right? Who knows? This is just me blindingly predicting the future. Why would Logan take this fight? Or Floyd take this fight? Why would he take this fight? You're 50-0. If you lose to a YouTuber. So I don't think this is going to be one of those rigged fights. I actually think Floyd is coming out throwing haymakers. He's going to get a lot of money, but I don't see why you would pick this if you even thought you're going to lose. Logan Paul has nothing to lose. Logan's coming in. He's getting an unbelievable amount of money, unbelievable amount of publicity. And if he wins, he beats the best boxer of all time. So we're going to see. Like I said, I don't see how Floyd Mayweather doesn't find a way to not win. He's going to win. So hopefully I don't sound like an idiot here in the future. Hello, future me now. Logan versus Floyd was a waste of time. In my opinion, it was a joke. They kind of just went at it for fun. Horrible. Fair play to Logan Paul, though. I will give him credit where credit's due. At the end of the day, you did go 8 rounds with arguably the greatest boxer of all time. So, in that case, hats off to you. Fair play. We know this was a money grab. We do. It was. Because they made a shit ton of money, both of the fighters. So fair enough. Best fight of the night was Chad Ochocinco, former NFL player. He was great. Got knocked down, but he went toe-to-toe with the guy he was fighting. He actually wanted to be there. So that's all I can say about that. I wasn't impressed, whatever. But I can tell you what I was impressed on. That was Team USA versus Mexico. But before I get into that, Colorado Avalanche versus Vegas Golden Knights. Also future me. Vegas. Wow. They put it to Colorado tonight, guys. That's all I can say. That's as simple as I can say it. They were unbelievable. Vegas was unbelievable. Their crowd was electric. I'm sure a lot of them are mollied up or on some type of promise world. They're in their own world. But let me tell you, that atmosphere in Vegas might be one of the best in hockey. And I'm not saying that statement lightly as a Boston Bruins fan. Vegas is an unbelievable atmosphere. Look, Vegas could 110%. Don't get me wrong. They could 100% be up 3-1 on Colorado right now. In Game 2, they went toe-to-toe with them in overtime. They got unlucky on a couple situations, but they 100% could be up 3-1 right now on Colorado. But it's 2-2 now, which makes Game 5 that much more interesting in Colorado. What a game. What a game. Fleury made some unbelievable saves again. Marshall Schultz had a hat trick for Vegas. He played his ass off. Great night to be a Golden Knight. What a game. I cannot wait. This is going to go 7. This will be probably the best playoff series that we have. Yes, it's the 2 best teams in hockey. 1 versus 2. And they're living up to it right now. No road team has gotten a win yet. Everybody's protecting their home ice. Who's going to be the road team that breaks through to win the series? It's going to be a good one. Now, what else was a good one was, oh my God, Team USA versus Mexico. I wasn't going to talk about this personally because, to be honest, I didn't really think it was going to be that great of a game. I mean, I knew it was going to be a good game, but CONCACAF National Championship, whatever the tournament they won, doesn't really seem like a big deal. But it is. Team USA has sucked ever since Jurgen Klinsmann left. Why I love the Klinsmann hire is because he came from Germany. In Europe, football, like soccer, whatever you want to call it, is different. It's different. It means so much more. Different styles, whatever. He brought a style to the U.S. where the U.S. made a great run in the World Cup. They got to the round of 16 and took Belgium to extra time and lost. But they made it out of the group of death with Germany and Portugal. It made U.S. soccer fun to watch. And then they hire a couple other guys from the MLS that are American, and we've been shit. That's as simple to put it. We've been awful. We didn't even qualify for the World Cup. We lost to Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago. Are you kidding me? Trinidad and Tobago? That's what I have to say about that. But then, they hired this guy, and I still don't. I'm not thrilled. His name just blanked out of my head, but it's another American from the MLS. Look, we're going to take a step at a time. Winning this against Mexico is huge. Huge. What a game, by the way. 2-2, goes into extra time. Christian Pulisic, by the end of his career, is going to be the greatest Team USA player of all time, in my opinion. Gets a game-winning penalty in the 111th, 112th, something like that minute. What a pen, by the way. Top bins, upper 90 in the right corner. Unbelievable goal by Pulisic. It was beautiful. Just absolutely brilliant. And then in the 120th minute, US has a handball in the box, and the referee comes back and gives him a call. So now Mexico has a chance. They have a penalty to send this to a penalty shootout. And Ethan Horvath, what a save! What a save! He saves the game-winning penalty against Mexico. What a game. This game was bananas. Zach Steffen, US's #1 goalie, he got hurt. So Horvath has to come in. He gives up a goal just 5-10 minutes into the game ever since he comes in. And then makes some brilliant saves down the stretch. And then he has the game-winning penalty. Yes, he was crying in celebration at the end of the game, and he deserves it. This could be the greatest moment of his career. Playing for your country, and making a big-time save like that. It was absolutely unbelievable. And let me tell you, Mexico fans, I love how passionate you are, but you're an absolute joke. I'll say that one more time. I love how passionate you guys are, but you're an absolute joke. throwing stuff onto the field all game. Pulisic scores his game-winning pen, and U.S. goes and celebrates, and you just start throwing stuff at the players. You're an absolute joke, all of you that threw this stuff, and you should never be allowed out of game again. Gio Reyna, striker for the U.S., took something right to the face. He was crying in pain because he took a thing that someone threw something at his face. You're a joke, whoever threw that. You're a joke. And then late in the game, Christian Pulisic gets fouled. And then everybody gets gathered in the corner flag area. And, oh, you Mexico fans start throwing more stuff. And joke's on you. You actually hit your own player, asshole. Whoever threw that, you're a joke. And then in like the 87th, 88th minute, homophobic chants start getting chanted around the stadium by Mexico fans that almost had to shut off the game. Come on. Be better. Be better. The game almost had to get called off and played behind closed doors tomorrow with no fans because of you guys. You should be banned. It was disgusting. But I don't want to bash Mexico anymore. I think it was a great game nonetheless. I don't want to take away from it being a great game. What a game, though. Back and forth, and then Pulisic scores a great pen. Horvath with an unbelievable save, and the U.S. actually won something. That doesn't happen a lot, guys. That doesn't happen. The U.S. is absolutely terrible. Now, I will say the future could be bright. Their average age is 23. 23. I believe it's like the first or second youngest average age of a national team in the world. I love it. When you guys got Christian Pulisic, who's an absolute world-class talent, built in with guys like Weston McKennie from Juventus, Zach Steffen from Manchester City, DeAndre Yedlin plays in the Premier League. You got talent. Gio Reyna, out in Bundesliga, I believe. Timothy Way, up-and-coming star. They have the potential. It's just, can Greg Berhalter, the U.S. manager, develop it? Personally, I wouldn't have Berhalter. I think there's a lot of other options they can go out and get. That's just me. But hey, credit's due. Berhalter he won a national whatever the cup was. It was built like 3 years ago. But this is a step in the right direction because Team USA doesn't do this stuff. This is massive. You got John Brooks, stud in the back line for the U.S. They have the talent. Can they produce it? And this was a step in the right direction to beat a good Mexico side, who's a veteran Mexico side, and beat them fair and square. What a game. That game was absolutely off the charts. And I didn't plan on talking about it, but here I am right now. Because that was an unbelievable game. Floyd versus Logan ended way before that, and I was going to do it, and then I was like, no, I'll watch extra time. I've watched most of the game anyway, and what a game. What a game. So, shout out to the U.S., because it doesn't happen a lot. I'm very happy the U.S. actually won something for once in soccer. Now I'm on to the Euros. Some of my family's from England, so, I'm an England guy as well. 3 Lions, come on, now you got to win the Euros. I'll talk about that a lot over the summer, but I'm just wanted to talk about USA-Mexico because that might have been the best sporting event of the whole entire day, to be completely honest. And we ended with a bang. It's trending all over social media. What a game. What a game. So that's going to wrap it up here, guys. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Mac on Sports Podcast. Hopefully the podcast turned out good. Having to do some certain type of edits, move things around was giving me some problems. As you saw, I didn't even have an intro because my software was being a pain. But hopefully that means the rest of the podcast turns out fine and doesn't really confuse you guys where I cut off certain spots and had to cut stuff in. But we can only hope for the best. I will see you guys on Thursday. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Mac on Sports Podcast. We're getting closer to 100 episodes. Unreal to think of what journey that we've came on and the fan base that we've grown. If you ever see me in public, don't be shy. Ask for a picture. I've had that happen once, twice. Awesome feeling. Do it again. Love you guys. Peace out.